Pastor Steve, I'm so glad to have you here today.
It's great to be with you, Pastor Francesco.
We just started talking in the previous show about the different lenses of ministry. And I was really touched when you read those scriptures about Paul introducing him or his colleagues, but also showing something else that maybe could be the co-worker or the friend. I just want to hear more from you.
So, Philippians 2:25, Paul, to this one guy, Epaphroditus, he says, he's my brother, he's my co-worker, he's my fellow soldier. So same guy, three different relationships, three ways Paul thought about their relationship.
Wow.
And three kind of different dynamics, probably, how they related. And in Philemon, he talks about a number of people. Timothy's my brother, Philemon's our friend and fellow worker, Apphia our sister, Archippus our fellow soldier. So we said there's kind of seems like there's three main groupings or three lenses that Paul looks at people. It's like, you're my brother or sister or friend, then you're my co-worker, and then we're fellow soldiers. And they're really different relationships. And so, it's like, man, I need all of these. So we've done an interesting thing when we do reviews is actually to say to people, hey, for each one of these, if you don't have this, what happens in your ministry? So, if we talk about belong now, it's good to think like, man, if you have a ministry and there's not a great sense of belonging, what's going to happen in your team? What's going to happen in your ministry? I don't know if you've got any thoughts about that.
Oh, this is important. Please, let's talk about it, because I think many times we are, for example, someone like me, I'm very much focused into maybe building, maybe taking new ground, so battling. But I realize the importance of this belonging kind of sense that sometimes people may feel hurt or used, or just because, not because we don't love them, but because we don't intentionally develop this belonging kind of atmosphere.
I think what I'd say is, if you don't have this, people don't feel connected, and they don't feel valued, as you say, and it's easy to feel used. So like, man, if I don't have this, my team's going to struggle, my ministry's going to struggle.
Wow.
But then what we said was, the danger is people get locked into their default, and so there's some people who are like, man, I'm just a great minister, I love everyone, I'm the fun guy, everyone loves me. But then they're hurt and confused, like, how come my ministry's not growing? And that's what we said. If you keep looking through the lenses, you're like, I don't understand, because the belonging is amazing. And it's like, the problem is you need to take off those lenses, put on the other ones, and suddenly it's like, oh my goodness, there's some gaps in what I do.
So true.
So I think, one of the things we ask, okay, it's great that you have belonging, but what happens if you only have that? What's going to happen in your team? What's going to happen in your ministry? I don't know if you've got any thoughts about that.
It comes to my mind one story that I heard from Pastor Sam. He was in New Zealand in one of the churches, an eldership meeting, and these people were so nice. Probably they had in mind all the belonging, and they were nice, and everything we were saying was so nice and gentle and kind. And Pastor Sam, as a leader, was listening to them, and then all of a sudden he goes, "Hey guys, you are so nice, so nice, so lovely." And then he paused. And then he says, "But nice people don't change the world."
Wow.
It really stayed with me, because sometimes when we only have those belonging thoughts and our 99% of effort goes in that direction, at the end of the day, we're not moving forward.
You're just
not
trying to keep everyone happy.
Don't
want to offend anyone. Oh, you think the music's too loud? I'm sorry, we'll turn that down.
There is no leadership there.
We need to meet with you more. And I think it's good to analyze almost the gaps of the other ones. So, I've literally seen this when we talk about this, someone puts their head in their hands and it's like, now I understand why it's not working, because you're like, you feel like you're doing this really good job, you're the fun, friendly, caring person, but people are leaving. And part of it is, because they're frustrated by the lack of organization. Because there's no build, and it's like, you have the pizza and we hug, but like I'm so annoyed and frustrated because we never know what's happening.
Yeah.
And
if something is ever happening.
Yeah, that's right. And then the build, and then surprisingly they're actually bored. I mean, it's like, it's nice to meet, have pizza, care, but it's like, that's not going to get me out of bed in the morning to go, like you say, to go and change the world. And after a while, it's like, I don't need, I've got friends. I don't need this just for friendship. I'm here because, man, there's an inspiring cause that I want to be part of. And so realizing, I'm the friendly, fun person who's loving and loves hospitality. But it's like, man, I need to make people feel like we're building something. There's momentum. And it's for a cause, and they're inspired by the cause. Like, man, that's why I'm part of this thing.
Wow. And this is 100% true, but flipping the coin is also true that someone may be totally the opposite. And never really working on the community side, never really working on the being together, Sometimes I've seen those even ministers that distance themselves from the people so much. I don't know what they want to project. Maybe some type of special anointing. I don't know. But you can have all the vision you want. You can have all the strategy and even the strength and the anointing. But if people don't feel loved, it's like John Maxwell says. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And I think it's important to develop maybe 33%, 33%. The belonging building battle.
Well, it's certainly, like I said last time, when New Zealand, when we did evaluations, to kind of actually put down how well is my team doing around belonging. Because I was thinking then, it really gives a feel for the morale of your team. Like, man, we love being part of this. And I know that I'm cared for. And so, I think it's a really important part, and just quality relationships. It's interesting too, even with the battle one, you talk about the band of brothers, even in the army, the ultimate thing they'd say, hey, I'm not actually fighting for the nation, I'm fighting for my brothers. And so it's like, we really need to feel like, man, we're tight, we're family, we're doing this together, and we're really committed to each other. And I love, like for us, like, man, I love your family. I care for your family. I'm concerned for how things are going. Like, we actually concerned for each other as individuals.
Yeah. Something that really we can see in movies also very often is that when they are fighting and then one of them maybe die in the battle, in those movies, for example, that are about wars, they never want to leave there, even if he's dead. They never want to leave their friend there. They may carry him on the shoulder. They want because there is more than just a goal. There is more than just a land to take. It's about doing it together.
But then the opposite side of that too is like, I knew a mission organization that says, hey, we're actually a team, not a family. Because in a family, when someone's sick, mum and dad stay home and care for them. On a team, you sub them off and you get them looked after. But we've still got a task to do. And I think, if it's all about family, sometimes it's like, how could you take me off the team? We're friends. And it's like, we are friends, but actually there is a job
for
to
a
do.
greater purpose.
And sometimes, again, if it's only belonging, we don't make the hard calls because we don't want to hurt our friends. Who wants to hurt your friends? And often the hardest calls in ministry is like, man, we've been together for so long, but actually I don't think you're the person to take us into the next level.
Oh, wow. It's getting hot here. It's getting warm. I can't wait to listen to you again, to talk some more about the building and the battle.
Right.
And thank you for being with us,
Thanks,
Pastor.
Francesco.
Stay tuned with our channel for the next show with Pastor Steve Graham, where we are going to talk about the differences between belonging, battling, and building. Looking forward to have you again on our channel.